Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis, and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And welcome back to the Real Estate Rant. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. How are you, sir?
I'm very sleepy, may I add.
Oh, you're sleepy today?
Oh, yeah, I woke up real early to go. I woke up real early to go to that event that I was telling you earlier.
Oh, right on. And because you worked last night, right?
Yeah, I worked last night, so I had to wake up. I'm running on 2 hours sleep right now.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Alonso, we will try.
But nevertheless, welcome to another episode of the most informative show you'll ever hear.
That's right. Where we have no talent, but we know a few things about real estate.
Just a few, huh?
Just a few things. Here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network here, and mucho macho michelada. And now I screwed it
The
up
new
that time.
Macho Mucho Michelada Studios.
Even though it's right there, and we know Mr. Alonso's tired, we're gonna say it again.
The new Macho Mucho Michelada Mix Studio.
Mucho macho michelada. We are proud supporters of that particular group. Thank you so much for allowing us to do the show, Rant Radio Network. Again, I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis. You can give us a call at 855-693-4897. You can win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse or a $200 teeth whitening to Gardens Dental, located at 7218 Garfield Avenue, located in the City of Bell Gardens. All compliments of Carlos Cruz and the Pico Rivera Chamber of Commerce. In-house today, we have Mr. Jesse Alvarado. How are you, sir?
Welcome, Mr. Jesse.
Hey, are we picking up Mr. Jesse? Okay, thank you, sir. Jesse's here from World Financial Group, representative as a marketing director for that particular group, and we have a good show in store for you today. If we can throw up the design deals, please, sir, give us a call at that number, 855-693-4897. Pick this particular design home, and you can win one of those gift cards, and it is a multiple choice. If you happen to be listening and picking that, do you know what kind of house that is without saying, Mr. Jesse?
It's a two-story home.
It's two-story. That's not. There we go. There we go, Mr. Pantalones. I appreciate that. Thanks you for throwing that out there.
That's not the Brady Bunch home?
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? You can also email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. That's realestaterantradio@gmail.com, and we can answer your questions and or comments, or if you happen to have a beef or problem with the real estate agent or real estate transaction, give us a call. We can try and answer those on the air. Mr. Alonso usually does a lot of research on that end. Mr. Alonso, what did we get this week?
This week's question comes out of Lauren out of Palm Springs, and it says, my two sisters and I own my deceased mother's home. We have a buyer who wants us to do owner financing, but we don't want to. We are already elderly ourselves, as he has no other means to buy the property, but we would like for him to have it. Could I act as his investor and buy the home for him and pay the three of us out? I can't figure out how to do this and protect myself.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Well, it sounds to me like she wants to do a owner financing, and she doesn't know how to do it herself. Is it a smart idea that she does it herself? I think not. It's probably this is something that is very complicated, and there's a lot of pitfalls. If in the first place he cannot pay, he cannot qualify for it, and they're going to get into a situation where she wants to finance it herself. I don't suggest it's a very smart idea. Can it be done? It probably could be done, but is it a smart idea to do? No, I don't think so.
Alonso, I have a question though. I'm trying to understand something. I mean, what is the fascination with selling this property to this person if they don't have the means to buy it?
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe they've been renting the home for a long time, and or a relative of theirs that's living in it.
That's got to be. Somebody they know.
It has to be someone they know. I mean, but it's not a smart idea. You shouldn't mix a business with family ties, and I mean, you could get yourself in a risky situation.
Business and friendship muddies the waters. Where did that come from? You know where that was from, Jesse?
No, I had no idea.
The Godfather.
Really?
Yeah, that was awesome. Al Pacino.
I mean, I think she pretty much answered the question herself. If he has no means to buy the property, then he probably has no means. He cannot, even maintain the property or pay the property taxes himself.
Now they're saying there that the two sisters, their mom deceased and left the property to them.
Exactly, to the three of them.
Okay, now having AMJ probate and also Ginger Marcos, the bankruptcy attorney, we had this conversation on a couple of those shows about not being able to transfer a piece of property if somebody had deceased, even though they put them on the will. So I guess a question would be, was the property in a trust? And if it wasn't in a trust, they can't avoid probate. So they wouldn't be able to sell the house to that guy anyway.
Well, I think we need a little bit more specifics on the
Exactly,
actual
exactly.
situation they're in. But I mean, if they outright own the home and they do have a clean title to it, then yes, she can probably pay off the sisters and they can grant deed the home over to her, and she could do the financing herself. But like I said, it's probably not a smart idea if he has no means to pay the home, unless you're just gonna donate it and write it off to charity.
To this good friend, right? Anyway, but I didn't want to. I wanted to bring that up mainly because the listener is asking us a question. It's very it's got a lot of different levels to it, but I wanted to bring that up because these are questions that somebody should be asking, because they might think that because they're on the will, they might think that, oh yeah, we can sell the house at any time, but quite frankly they can't if they're not on title, if the property's not in a trust, right? And we talked about that during probate certification, and like I said, we had Ana Maria Jimenez with AMJ Probate on the show, and we specifically had that conversation about the heirs of a property not being able to transfer it, right?
Well,
Yeah, what's up?
well, that's what I'm saying. It's a smart idea for them to get a hold of someone, a talented real estate agent. May I add, like Alex from HER and Associates can give him a call, and
Why,
he
thank
can
you. I
lead you in the
appreciate
right
that.
direction.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw out a Stacy and identification out on that one. We're here at the Real Estate Rant Radio at Rant Radio Network. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. You can have a question for myself, Alonso, or Jesse, and we'll try to get to your question. You can win one of those $25 gift cards if you happen to get that particular design. Thank you, Mr. Pantalones. And or if you happen to have a good question or a beef, say with a transaction or a real estate agent, give us a call and share with us. We'll say it on the air. No names, please. Obviously, we don't want to get anybody in trouble, but we do want to talk about the situation and try and find solutions to those problems. Our motto on the show: no problems, just solutions. What other questions do we have, Mr. Alonso?
The other question comes out of Christina from Northridge, and it says, is there a situation in which a broker may pay a commission or referral fee to an out-of-state broker licensed in his or her state, but not in California?
Man, I got to throw my hands up on this one, man.
Well, actually, that's the question that one of the agents that works with us actually asked me earlier today also.
Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah, and it was kind of...
Was that lady from Vegas?
Yeah, it was a
okay.
Vegas lady,
Right
yeah,
on.
and it was kind of irony and ironic that, this question came up also today, and absolutely, a broker can pay a referral fee to another licensed individual in any other state that they're licensed in. And
Yeah,
we do it all the time. We refer people out from other states, and we pay that referral fee.
Yeah, I did want to mention though about that is that it has to be under contract. As long as it's disclosed in escrow that who's getting paid what, and that fee is being paid through escrow, that it's got to be transparent.
Yeah, and
number one to the seller, and number two to the buyer. It's gotta
and
be
then
transparent.
one other big thing is that in California, commission can only be paid on real estate to licensees. So make sure he's licensed and active and current. So you cannot pay someone a commission if they are not licensed in California.
Yeah, otherwise it's called a referral fee or
Well, not even a referral fee.
For lack of a better word, a kickback.
Yeah, and that's a RESPA violation, a
Yes.
kickback. That's not allowed in California. So as long as the out-of-state brokers are licensed in their own state, your local agent can't pay a referral fee.
So give us a call, 855-693-4897. You can ask us a question and or pick that particular design deal. In-house today, we have Mr. Jesse Alvarado from World Financial Group. And Jesse's going to be sharing with us some things about his company and actually what is it that they do at WFG. And quite frankly, I thought I knew what most companies out there are doing, and after talking with Jesse, I didn't know. See, Jesse actually shared a lot of things with me, right? So Jesse, a short introduction about yourself, sir.
Yeah, my name is Jesse Alvarado, and definitely I'm in business with World Financial Group. And what I do, I work with families. I teach them financial concepts.
Right on. And how did you get into that line of business, if you don't mind me asking?
With World Financial Group, actually, I come from the real estate industry, and
Oh, so you were an agent before?
yes, it was.
Oh, okay. In
there-
good
there-
company. Okay.
Absolutely. And one of the things through helping families of get their dream home and even helping selling their home, came one time where a wife of husband and wife, and I help them get a home. They bought them a home,
And this was as a real estate agent.
as a real estate agent,
Okay, right on.
as a real estate agent, and 3 years later, the wife called me stating that the husband had passed away of a stroke.
Ooh.
And at that point in time, as a real estate agent, I feel really helpless because there was nothing I can do for the wife at this point in time because they had lost their husband, and so I feel helpless. So I figured there was got to be a better way to help these families protect their assets.
Well, not only that, but as a real estate agent, that's really not your position to be talking about those things with them. I mean, as unfortunate as something like that is,
Yes.
but so what happened after that?
Well, after that, I figured that there's got to be a better way to help these families, and the wife lost the home 9 months later. The wife and kid lost their home 9 months later. So I came across to World Financial Group, and I started the business as a part time, and now I'm doing the business full time.
And now you mentioned that you go and you help families.
Yes, I do.
So in that particular situation, how could you have helped that lady?
Okay, for example, being in this business that I'm in now with World Financial Group, what we do, we help families. For example, we teach them how to get out of debt. That's one of the areas. The next area is
I could use that.
the next area. It's the life insurance. Teaching families the importance of protecting their assets by having life insurance protection. If this couple, husband and wife, would have life insurance, for example, the husband passed away of a stroke, the wife could have had maybe $500,000 as a debt benefit, and she would have been able to pay the mortgage and continue providing for the kids, schooling, medicine, clothing, everything that is necessary.
And we'll be right back. Hold that thought. Don't touch that mouse.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Real Estate Rant and AGR Realtors are proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates, advocates for stroke awareness and integrative healthcare.
In February 2012, I suffered a stroke due to high blood pressure. I was rushed to the hospital where I was admitted for the next 30 days. I was initially told I may have to stay in the hospital for about 3 months, but I made rapid improvements in my recuperation and continued to improve to this day.
When Michael left the hospital, he did not have insurance to cover his rehabilitation, so he focused on integrative healthcare to get better. At the end of 2013, seeing a need for stroke awareness, Michael started his own company, Michael Aguilar and Associates, to focus on creating awareness about the dangers of high blood pressure and stroke.
If you would like more information, please call me at 562-464-7297, or you can visit my website at www.strokeawareness101.com.
Michael Aguilar and Associates, creating awareness and saving lives one person at a time.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number one Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, At AJR and Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR and Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
And your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis. And to my left, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
and man of many talents, may I
There
add?
you have a very sleepy man, by the way. Here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network and the foundation and/or holy grounds.
Stomping grounds.
There we go, the stomping grounds. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, and you can win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse, located in the City of Commerce. Compliments of Carlos Cruz and the Pico Rivera Chamber of Commerce. He's been moving around so much. I won't
And I know there's a chamber event coming up that he's hosting, right? In
Tomorrow.
Pico Rivera.
Tomorrow
It's tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow night.
It's like a casino night or something like that, or
something like that. It's at Beverly Park. It's on
Yes,
Beverly.
yes.
Pico Park. That's right.
Okay.
I seen that invite.
Pico
Thanks
Park
again,
between
Carlos,
5 and
for
9.
sending out that invite and keeping us in mind. We're proud supporters of Carlos.
Mr. Pantalones, for some reason, I'm getting intermittent signals there. Anyway, AJR and Associates and the Real Estate Rant are proud supporters of Michael Aguilar and Associates. Michael Aguilar had a stroke some time ago, and you can reach Michael at www.strokeawareness101.com, and or you can email him at michaelpaguilar@hotmail.com. And Mike goes around and does seminars and what have you about stroke awareness and how to eat, how to live. Us real estate agents, we get stressed out at times.
Not only that, we have a unhealthy eating habit, because we're out and about running everywhere, and we tend to get those carnita burritos and the hamburgers and what's
No,
on
not me. What are you talking about? Oh man, I'll tell you. Jesse and I had a power lunch this afternoon with some individuals, and I had the healthy ahi tuna, seared ahi tuna, but Mr. Jesse here, well, he threw down one of those buffalo burgers, man. It was pretty tasty.
Oh yeah, it was really tasty. I know you were really checking out my my Buffalo Wing burger.
I'll tell you what, I was like salivating as I'm watching them eating. It looked really
and
good.
here I am drinking my shakes and my green salads. Come on, Alex.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, you're working on it, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get healthy.
Right on. No, we're behind you there, my friend. Good deal. Give us a call at 556-933-4897. Mr. Pantalones, if you will, throw up the design deal. If you get this particular design, you can win a $25 gift card to one of those places. We have Stevens Steakhouse, a $200 teeth whitening, actually, we did have one from Wallace Gonzalez from Smart Solar, and he was giving out one of those gift cards. It is a multiple choice question. You are allowed to go on Wikipedia and look it up and give us a call, 855-693-4897. We were finishing up with Mr. Alvarado here, and I was about to ask the question. You were mentioning about a family that had lost the man of the house.
Yes, the wife lost her husband.
Can I ask how? Like, what was it that there was in a car accident? I mean, what?
It was actually he passed away at home. He came home from work, and he sat down watching TV, and then the wife was preparing dinner. And when the dinner was ready, the wife went to ask him that the dinner was ready, and the man never woke up.
Man, that's some powerful programming.
Didn't even get to eat the Last Supper, huh?
I'll tell you
wow,
what.
that is
Well,
something.
well,
That is something.
No disrespect, but man, that's some powerful programming. What was he watching? Oh my God. It must have been a Raider game, I'm thinking.
Oh, come on. Those Raiders. How about them Raiders? They're doing awesome, huh, Alex?
Well, they beat the Seahawks, but come on, if they're playing third string and what have you, come on, give me a break.
With the third string quarterback.
The reason I ask is because these kind of situations happen, and they're very unexpected. We don't expect these to happen, even like the Raiders beating the Seahawks. We don't expect those kind of things, right?
That's right.
Can you imagine the horror that this lady felt by finding her husband passed away there in the living room?
I could just imagine the change in lifestyle now that I mean, I'm sure he was probably the only one working, the one income household, and
Yeah.
with that gone, it's what do you do,
Well,
and that's one thing that it's very scary to think of what's gonna happen to us. None of us like to think of dying. Like we have previous people that came on our show and we talked about that. It's something frightening that we as Hispanics don't like to plan. We don't like to have a financial plan. We're dead and we're gone and who cares? That's the way we think.
Gee,
But
thanks.
it shouldn't be that way. We have to have a financial planning to leave behind for our loved ones. And that's something that it's. I'm sure that's what you're into now, right?
Yes,
Jesse?
I am. Absolutely. I definitely. But what I do is really teach families financial concepts. Like in that case, if like I mentioned, if she would have had the husband would have had life insurance. I know the impact of losing a loved one. There's nothing we can do about it. But in the aspect of financially, the wife would have got, let's say, $500,000. Now life would have been different because she would have been able to make the mortgage payment. In this case,
Damn, with $500,000, she could have got a new, younger man in the home.
well, see, that's why I think that's why the Hispanic community doesn't do that because, most guys that I know, they don't want to pay for Sancho to move in.
Yeah, and that's our thinking, our machismo, huh? That's our machismo
Yeah.
that comes out. Heck no,
Is
I'm
that
not
right?
gonna leave
Do
him with
you get a lot of that?
yes, absolutely. We in some cases, not all the cases, but yeah, we came across that. But this is the thing. The thing is, the husband committed to the wife and those kids, and whose responsibility is to provide for those kids? Is it the husband or the Sancho? So in the case, it is important to realize that the husband chose a woman and chose to have those kids, and it's a husband's responsibility to provide for the wife and kids.
Now, we joke around about that, but there are a lot of women out there that will never remarry or never get together with anyone else. And so they're kind of in a position where they would need that product. They would need a life insurance product.
Absolutely, but not only the husband needs to be insured, but also the wife, because if something happens to the wife, and now we have a husband with 3 kids, but who's gonna really now
yeah.
provide the?
who's gonna cook for them. We're gonna have to hire a maid.
Who's
Who's
gonna
gonna
do the
clean the
laundry?
house? Who's gonna wash? We're gonna have to need money to pay for that
Man, I
extra
need
service.
a girlfriend. What's wrong with you?
And we
So-
kind of joke about it, but it's something serious that we should really be on the serious side. We should put our serious face on, Alex.
Okay, let's put our serious face on. So, Mr. Jesse, what concepts would you consider to be important at that point?
For example, primarily is really the life insurance protection. By people having the life insurance protection, then in that case, anything were to happen to the husband, the wife, and even protecting also the kids with life insurance, at least, like I said, once the loved one is gone, there's nothing that can be done about that. But also having life insurance protection, at least by having a death benefit, you can definitely pay for any expenses that you incur when you lose a loved one.
I have to ask, you mentioned life insurance for your children.
Yes.
I mean, what are the kids leaving behind? Why would they need life insurance?
For example, bearing a kid is not for free. So bearing a kid, it also costs money. Not only that, when you lose your son or daughter, well, that could put you out of work for some time. You might be going to depression. You never know what could happen to you. And so if you need time off, and you can't afford to take work off, or you miss work, you might lose your job. So that money comes in handy.
Yeah, we had Heather from Arlington Memorial over, and she was talking about the cost and expense of having to bury somebody. And something as sudden as that, it's totally unexpected. You don't expect to have to pay those fees and things. There was like 45 things you had to do.
Yeah, not only that, you could imagine the trauma that you're gonna go through. The nervous breakdowns, the depression you're gonna fall through. That's gonna all affect the way you work.
A
You're
stack of
not.
hundreds will go really good with
Well, that's the. I don't think none of us would trade a stack of hundreds for a loved kid or a kid of ours, Alex.
I don't know.
I certainly wouldn't.
I have an ex-wife. Speak for yourself. So you go in and you educate the families about
Yes.
this stuff. Like I mentioned before, it's totally unexpected. What do you do from that after that point? So they have the knowledge. I mean, what is your experience now with folks actually committing or doing something at that point?
Okay, when I come in with the family, for example, sitting with husband and wife, I sit down with them, explain. I go through different concepts. For example, the importance of getting out of debt. Have For example, credit card debt, we help them with unsecured debt, like credit card debt, and we teach them those concepts about how to get out of debt. For example, the next one is life insurance, and the next one is retirement, saving money for retirement, the importance of planning for their retirement. The next one is the emergency fund. Teach families the importance of saving money for in the event they lose their job or they get sick and can't work. They have money aside. That way, if they lose their job, they at least have 6 months saved. So when they go, they have 6 months to live the same lifestyle and go back to work.
So just because I'm a bit confused about what you just said,
Okay.
when you mentioned the emergency fund, I mean, so an emergency fund, I would think you're putting money aside for something that was totally unexpected, an emergency, right?
Yes.
But isn't that what life insurance does? Or do I need an emergency fund and life insurance?
Yes, you do. For example, the emergency fund. The emergency fund is the insurance company recommend that people have at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly income put aside. It's strictly labeled an emergency fund for in the event you get sick and can't work. Let's say for 6 months, you have 6 months of your monthly income put aside. That way, you have 6 months to get well and go back to work.
And isn't there a product that they sell like that? Because I know back in the days when I used to listen to some of the Aflac commercials, they had some sort of products like that. That it was like in case you were not able to go to work or
Was it
anything happened.
Aflac?
Aflac with the duck. Remember
Yeah,
that
no,
duck?
no, but I wasn't sure what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
Aflac, that duck that used to come out.
Well, isn't that for like older folks?
No, it's actually like a insurance, a life insurance, and they have like one of those insurances, like if you lose your job or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not
but
an
that's not
insurance
the
agent,
emergency
but
fund that you're talking about, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, that's a different product.
It's a different product.
But
yes.
but now is Aflac a competitor of WFG or because I've always thought that to be kind of like AARP or something like like the older people like over 65.
no, actually, it's for anyone who it's a life insurance.
I don't know. He doesn't know.
And no, the reason I know, I mean, I don't want to go back into it. The reason I know because I used to sit in a county facility where a bunch
right.
of life insurance agents would come, different life insurance, because all the county employees, they need their own life insurance, their own kind of retirement insurance. So they have to pay that through their salary. So every week we would have a different agent that would sit there and, I had the luxury of sitting and listening to all the conversations, We'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more real estate rant.
It's one thing to own a business, it's another to promote it. That's why thousands of business owners rely on Monster Marketing Group. Design, print, mail, custom mailers, all for as little as 29 cents delivered. That includes postage. Send to a neighborhood, zip code, or an entire city. With just a simple call, 888-49-MONSTER, you can easily promote your business, sales, events, grand openings, send coupons, and much more.
Your mail delivers in as little as 5 days. No dealing with the mailing list or paperwork. Monster Marketing does all the heavy lifting. Get started now by calling 888-49-MONSTER or go to monsterng.com.
Monster Marketing Group. We deliver, we give you results, we can prove it.
It's hot out here. I need a drink. Have a mucho macho michelada.
What's a michelada?
Michelada is a Mexican Bloody Mary made with beer. All you have to do is get bucket-sized michelada, open it up, pour it in your favorite beer, and you're good.
What if you don't like beer?
You can use it in lemon lime soda, vodka with lime, or tequila with lemon lime soda.
Sounds delicious. Where do you find it?
You can find it at your favorite store, or you can go to muchomachomichelada.com.
Find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. We're back top of the hour here on a hot September day. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and Mr. Alonso Rodriguez, my broker. How are you, sir?
Good.
Here at the Towers of the Rant Radio Network, give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. in house today. We have Mr. Jesse Alvarado with World Financial Group, and he's giving us some great information on and teaching us on how to stay out of debt, how to pay our bills after we're dead, and actually, we haven't even got to that point, right?
Nope.
I we were talking about Affleck at the last segment, and I wanted to mention that the only reason I know Affleck is even around is because of those dumb commercials that they have on with the duck. That's the only reason I know.
And believe it or not, one of their marketing techniques, Alex, was to give away a free duck, a little teddy bear of a duck, and you couldn't imagine how many people would sign up just to get that damn duck.
I don't know. I never got one of those. But you're saying Affleck's not a competitor of WFG?
No, it's not. What it is, they focus on accidental, accidental death insurance.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not too familiar with them, but what I know it's accidental. They focus their products is based on disability insurance. So any qualifications were to qualify for one of their benefits, it has to do with disability, and so that's where their focus is. But it's two different avenues of business.
I'm actually very surprised that my engineer, Mr. Pantalones, and I'm having a field day with this right now, because Aflac is just something funny. Every time I see their commercials, I'm always just cracking up, and I think that's the purpose of it. But see, I had no idea. I'll tell you, their commercials do no justice to what they do, because I had no idea, and I like their commercials. I think they're funny. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Jesse, I have to ask, because this is something that I would like for myself. How do you help people get out of debt?
For example, there's an outside company that works with us.
Now he kicks in, right?
Little
Sorry to
delay
bother you,
there.
Mr. Pantalones. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, it's an outside company. They work with us, and what they do debt settlement. For example, if we have a client so when I sit down with the family and I explain to them how is it that we help our families, and I start talking about how we can help them get out of debt, and I found out that they have credit card problems. For example, they're not making their credit card payments anymore, or they're actually paying late, and they have over $10,000 in credit card debt, unsecured debt. Now this company, outside company that worked with us, what I do, I refer them to the company, and what they do, they normally negotiate the debt anywhere from 40 to 60% of the actual debt. Now,
So this is a company now that you guys hire, or do you do this yourself?
no, what I do, I identify the client's needs and I refer them.
Oh, so they're referred out. But,
Yeah.
but at least you know of the entities that do this kind of thing.
Absolutely, and that company has been qualified for us to do business with them, or else we wouldn't be working with them.
Because now in real estate, we have a lot of individuals that would like to buy a home, and a lot of those individuals probably should negotiate their debt and do certain things to either increase their credit scores or just help them be in a better position to buy. And us as real estate agents, we look at that. Right, Alonso?
And that's a very interesting concept that you bring up, because at today's seminar, that's what they talked about. You
Oh,
know,
really? Okay.
yeah, there was a credit repair guy that kind of his services, they have to do with reestablishing your credit, your client's credit. You know, and in return, what they do is you refer them to that credit disputing service. And what they do is now they tie you in to look at and monitor their credit. So in the future, when their credit is back to par, then you're gonna be the one that is gonna be able to help them find that home, or do the bigger transactions that they want to get into.
And we have had a credit repair gentleman on the show, and I just wanted to reiterate that when you are trying to address a trade line on your credit, you shouldn't address it to the credit reporting agencies as dispute, because once you say dispute, you could potentially be putting yourself in a legal position. They will actually send you information as to signing under penalty of perjury whether or not you're disputing something that's yours. You're saying that it's not yours, you're disputing it, right? The terminology that you should be using on that particular issue should be that you're inquiring about it. So you've heard it here first.
And that's one of
Yes.
the importance of hiring a professional that knows how to do that kind of stuff, so you won't jeopardize and get yourself in a bigger hole than you're already in. And ultimately, it's one of the interesting things that I learned today was that a lot of these credit repair companies, they work all the same. There's not any different, and all they're doing is inquiring, and they're doing it consistent, so that that when the banks don't actually get back to you on time, or the creditors don't get back on time, by law they have a certain timeline that they have to respond and get it off your credit, and that's how many of them work.
So Jesse, you are talking with individuals. You're referring them to a service if they need it. In terms of settlement, are these attorneys that you're referring them to?
It's an organization. Yeah, they have their own attorneys, where they do what they do. That they negotiate debt, but not only one consumer debt. They negotiate debt in the millions of dollars. So if, for example, they negotiate $1 million with a certain bank, and they say, "Look, we have $2 million of consumer debt that is owed to you. Do you want to take 50% or you want nothing?" For the most part, they settle to 50%. And once that they settle, then this company, what it does is creates a payment plan. And so people needs to have at least $10,000 of credit card debt or more. So by negotiating the $10,000, now they owe, let's say they go to 50%, they dropped it down to 5,000. Now they make payments on $5,000.
Oh, so the settlement has to do with making payments now.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's a bit different than disputing credit, obviously, but
Yes.
but this is some of the cases that you've seen come through.
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious about that because I always wonder who can negotiate these things with the lenders and primarily credit card companies. Doesn't necessarily have to be an attorney.
No.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about that.
And do you know if there's any special training or certificates that you need to get for debt settlement or?
For the consumer?
Yes.
No. The client, once they qualify to do the plan, they just have to, the company, what it does, creates a payment plan, and it depends on the debt. It could be a year, 2 years, depends on the debt, and that's how now they make specific payments on that debt, and that's until they get out of debt.
Well, I'm not taking the 50%. I want the $2 million that you talked about. All right. So I'm not forgetting about that. All right, Jesse?
Okay.
I'll take the 50% of the $2 million.
You want the 50%?
No,
I want
better, something better than nothing.
Well, no, I agree with you, and that's how they're looking at it, right?
Yes.
So we talked about emergency funds. We talked about life insurance. What about retirement?
Yeah. For example, yes, absolutely. What's going on right now? There's very few people saving for retirement. In fact, there's people retiring right now with less than $25,000 for retirement. You see, from 1946 to 1964, there were born 76 million babies. That's in 18 years. Now,
That's a lot of babies.
The baby boom.
yeah, those
There
are
was
the
no
baby.
TVs back then.
There's no. Well, there was TV, but the only
black and white
like
doesn't
three
count.
channels.
Black and white doesn't count.
No, but you had to change the channels with the pinzas, right? You had to because those little plastic things always busted off,
And it's funny because my
I'm gonna go
TV
make
was
some
like
babies.
that. I did change mine with the pliers
Yeah.
and the pinzas.
Oh, it was. Everybody had the pizzas out there, So much for the clickers, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
how it was. But
There should be a program, being Latino. That's you're Latino when you have a pair of pinzas as your remote control.
we make a joke of it, Jesse. But
Yes.
but you're saying there was 76 million babies that were born during that time?
Yeah, that's actually in 18 years, there were born 76 million babies.
Hey, so is it different, like between say 64 and because that's 20 years, so 64 and 84? Do you know what those statistics are?
That's Generation X. It's 44 million.
So there was less. There
Yes,
was
the
less
next
going on.
generation after that, 44 million babies.
So the TV was getting better.
Color.
During that, it came in color. There's more channels. I mean, I can imagine now it's probably even better because there's like 700 channels now that you can just flip through channels. I can't even get through all of them, to be honest with you. But
You don't have time to make babies anymore. You're too busy trying to figure out what's on TV.
yeah, pretty soon it's gonna be there's 2 babies in that 20-year span, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, I make a joke of it. But But what you're trying to say is that during that time, that most of those people didn't save money for their retirement.
Absolutely. Actually, January 1st, 2011, these baby boomers started turning 65 years old. Now, every 7 seconds, one baby boomer turns 65 years old. There's an estimate of 10,900 baby boomers retired daily since January 1st, 2011.
And you see a lack of savings with those individuals. I mean, do you have people coming to you at that age and even asking you about that stuff?
Well, actually, no. What I see is what is happening. See, we're only a few years away from 2011, but you get to see people that actually at stores working at
Oh,
65, 70, 80 years old, checking receipts, doing this, doing that. That is not because they're still excited about working. It's because they don't have the funds
They'd
to
rather be sipping a
It's-
margarita,
especially
right?
with the housing market being so expensive. I mean, how can you live off your retirement if
Yeah, and
rents are so high? You
and
know,
they lost their house recently, probably, and so now they haven't saved. They lost their house. Their kids hate them, so they're working at Walmart.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the lady over there is checking the receipts. I mean, let's make it Costco instead, right? They're still there. They're working, and you're right. I see them. They shouldn't be there. These are our grandmothers, our aunts, or uncles that are parents that are out there. They didn't think about the things that they were supposed to do. Probably 40 years before. And so what you're saying is that, hey guys, you need to take a look at our products.
we'll be right back. Don't touch that mouse.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more real estate rant.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra modern, ultra clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
Looking for some swag? Make sure to check out monsterclothing.com. They got everything from V-necks, t-shirts, hoodies, baby dolls. And remember, custom orders are always welcome and much more. They're just not on the site yet. www.monsterclothingco.com or call them at 888-49-MONSTER. 888-49-MONSTER. Hablamos español. Doo-doo-doo!
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. We were talking earlier about retirement, and we were making some jokes about it, but quite frankly, there's some sad things that are going on in society, especially when we as younger folks don't think about the future. And we were talking at the break a little bit about some of those sad things that are happening. And there's some older folks out there, and I hate to say it, that are eating things that maybe that's all they can afford. Right? They're eating, we talked about them eating cat food.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, years ago, there was an article on the newspaper that people that had retired, they were eating actually cat food. That was what they're buying because they could not afford, with the money they were getting from the Social Security, could not afford to buy actually real food.
Not that there's anything wrong with cat food. I'm sure the cats
What
like
kind
it.
of cat food? The crunchy one or the one that comes in a tuna can?
No, the can. I think it's the
I
cans.
think it's
right?
probably the cans. Probably like
The
a
crunchy
tuna.
kind of gets stuck in your teeth, you know.
I'm looking at the crunchy ones that in a bowl of cereal. I'm like,
With water, right? To loosen it up a little bit. I mean, again, we're making a joke of it, but quite frankly, we have to think of our future, and we should be thinking about our future. Is there products now that are available to a younger generation that can help us stay away from those situations?
Absolutely. In fact, there's the product very popular that most people don't know about, and this product is approved by the IRS, and it's a product that you start if you say what it states is that if you save money with an insurance company with the life insurance product, this plan, whatever interest your money earns, is actually tax free, and there is a code for that, Internal Revenue Code 7702. So whenever you have money saved attached to a life insurance plan with life insurance, whatever money you save, whatever interest you earn, is when you start pulling the money out, it's actually tax free. Obviously, if you fund the plan accordingly.
and isn't there, Jesse, some kind of insurances that they give you? Say if you don't use a policy, they'll give you a lump sum at the end of the term of the policy, like kind of like a savings account. Have you heard of those products?
Well, yes, there's different types. What I'm sharing with you right now is a plan that is actually permanent life insurance protection. That plan comes with savings at the same time.
So it ensures us that we're permanently going to live.
Exactly. It is.
So I'm going to live forever.
No,
If
it's
I get that
actually
permanent life insurance. Is that what that is?
well, if
Until you die.
if you could live for over 121 years, then you got a problem.
No, but the
this one.
company is ensuring that I'm going to live. It's a permanent life insurance. Am I listening? Am I thinking of that wrong?
I know you're throwing me off. That's probably
You're
a nice.
too tired for that one.
No, I'm thinking living forever. That's could it be a it could be a nice thought or it could be a scary thought. Because
Yeah,
there's
well,
a man
exactly.
there's a man on I was looking on YouTube the other day that's like about 100 and something years old, 150 something years old.
150.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, it didn't be tiring,
Man,
you know.
that's some good cat food, huh? I think you're thinking about Dracula.
Is it Transylvania?
Transylvania. Were you watching the Transylvania? Were you on Facebook in Transylvania? Is that what it was? But permanent life insurance. I'm making a joke of it again. Permanent life insurance is a different product now. Is it a living benefit?
There's two different types. For example, let me go back a little bit about the term life insurance. The term life insurance is a window of time of protection. Insurance companies have, for example, 10, 20, and 30-year term. It is a window of time. Let's say right now, let's say if I have a gentleman that is 35 years old and buys a 20-year term, what that means, buys the plan right now at 35, age 35, then years go by, the window starts closing. When 20 years, 20 years pass, the gentleman is 55 years old. Now, the policy expired. The window has closed. So people would have to reapply again, but now at age 55. That's the basic term.
So now at 55, is there a higher price you're gonna pay for that life insurance?
Yes, on the term, yes, it is, because now you're 55 years old. Now the insurance company will require a new physical. Why? Because they don't know where you at yourself with your health. You're 55 years old, but now they don't know if you have diabetes, anything else, issues with any other health problems. They need to see where you're at, and based on where you are with your health, they give you a new code.
And now at an older age, now if you're applying for another 20 or 30 years, now they're gonna cash in on that policy. That's why it's so that's why I see it's the insurance companies charge less when you're younger, because you're probably gonna outlive that policy if you get it at a young age.
Well, no, a lot of the companies are offering a hybrid policy, and that is kind of like life insurance and savings kind of intertwined.
Yes, that's the I was actually explaining to you about the permanent life insurance. But going back to your question, is there's another term, life insurance, that is a term, it's a window of time, but comes with living benefits.
Oh, okay.
That plan is also a term. If you buy 20 years, well, it'll expire within 20 years. But in the process of those 20 years, if you develop, for example, have cancer, certain health issues that you can't really care for yourself, then, for example, there's 6 abilities that we perform to care for ourselves, like bathing, eating, clothing, all that stuff. If you can't do 2 of those, then you can get up to 90% of the insurance benefit. So
So that's what it means to have a living benefit,
Yes.
meaning that if you're disabled at that point, that policy would pay those expenses.
no, actually, they don't pay the expenses. You just get the money, and you take
Oh.
care of whatever you need to take care of.
Show me the money.
Cash is king.
And I'll tell you what. Show me the money. I mean, that's kind of nice. Don't get me wrong. So, what does it mean when money is guaranteed?
Okay, now we go to the permanent life insurance. The reason we call it permanent is because it protects you for 121 years from the day you buy it. So most people don't live 121 years.
So it's
Or
not
more than
gonna.
that.
So there's no window that's gonna be closing on that policy. Pretty much, you bought into it and you have it for 120 years.
You know, this is something I've always wondered about life insurance. Let's say that I see the benefit in it, I'm paying for it, but there's at some point I lose my job or something happens financially where I can't make the payments now because they're monthly installments, I'm assuming.
Yes.
What happens if I can't pay it or I just stop paying it?
Okay, well, normally when you start a plan like this, and depends when all that happens, what it is, let's say you're 2, 3 years into the plan and you lose your job, all you got to do is just call the insurance company and say, look, I lost my job. I cannot make payments for the next 3 months, because you already have money saved, and you have obviously life insurance protection. That's how the plan works. You must have life insurance and savings at the same time. Then you call in and say, you know what, I cannot make the next 3 payments. I lost my job. Then what they do, you put a stop payment. They put the payments on hold. They will not withdraw from your bank account anymore until you let them know. But nevertheless, the life insurance protection needs to be continue to be paid. Out of your savings, they take the money and pay your life insurance protection. That way, the policy is still in place, and you still have life insurance protection. And within 3 months, you get a job and you continue making those payments.
So even if you're not making the payments, you're still covered?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. As long as you tell them, just need to.
Yes, you need
communicate
to
with
let them know that you're going to stop paying for 3 months or whatever the time is. But the life insurance protection is still being paid, but the money's taken out of your savings to pay for that. That could be, depends how much coverage you got. It could be $20 a month, $30 a month. They'll be taken out of your savings.
Now, you talked a little bit about that hybrid policy in terms of life and savings. What is the benefit of saving with the life insurance policy versus just regular savings?
Okay, the part of this permanent life insurance, like I said, this type of plan come with life insurance protection and savings at the same time. The great thing is that when you save money in this kind of plan that is approved by the IRS, what it is, all the interest that your money makes, at the end of the day, when you pull your money out, let's say when you're retired at age 65, that interest is tax free.
Are you allowed to withdraw from that savings at any time, or do you have to wait till you're a certain age?
No, you can pretty much withdraw at any time. Although there's a 10-year, when you get this plan, there's a 10-year surrender charge. What that means is that if you understand the importance of saving money for retirement, the importance of having permanent life insurance protection, because we all know that one day we'll be gone, why not having permanent life insurance protection? So if you understand that you need to have this protection permanent, then there's a 10-year surrender charge. That means you can't cancel the plan for the first 10 years. But after that, you can pull out 90% of whatever money you have saved.
So is that what it means to surrender? Pretty much cancel the policy, or what does it mean to surrender?
Okay, when you surrender is you cancel. Within 10 years, if you surrender the plan, canceling, then you might incur some penalties. It's like if you lease a car and you get a 3-year lease and you want to return it within a year, there's penalties there.
What about putting money in? Can I just put as much money as I want into that kind of account?
Absolutely, you can. Within the first, depends how much life insurance you get with the plan. it is regulated how much money to put in. But after 7 years, you can put as much money you like. Could be in the thousands a month.
And then at what kind of interest rate? I mean, what does it play the market or
What it
how does
is,
that
this
work?
type of plans are actually mirrors three different markets: the S&P 500, the Eurostock 50 in Europe, and also the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. Three indexes. Now, this type of plan, in the last 21 years, it has done an average of 9.31%.
Wow.
That's an average, and that's pretty powerful in this economy.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because most investors are looking for from 8 to 10%. That's right in there. And what's the risk factor on something like that?
But this plan, I honestly tell you, there's no risk. There's no risk. The money that you save in this type of plan is guaranteed minimum 1%. No matter what happens to our economy, you will always make 1%. That is to give you peace of mind. Now, the maximum that will pay you is 14 and a quarter percent. That is the cap. If the company makes, let's say, 15%, well, the profit or whatever it is after 14 and a quarter.
Nice. Well, we are coming up on the end of the show. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Jesse Alvarado. Very good information. We would like to have you back on the show some other time. Please join us next week, same time, same place, Wednesday, 3:30 here on the Rant Radio Network.
All right. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Real Estate Rant Radio
Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
on the Rant Radio Network, where we talk about solutions to your real estate problems. The views and opinions expressed by the host or any guest on this show are encouraged to be followed up by a professional tax advisor or attorney, as we are not qualified or authorized to give advice in two areas: legal matters and tax matters.